think we need to start talking about this situation because Garnacho has absolutely done a brat move, and we are going to be talking about it today. We are going to be talking about what Garnacho just did, his message to Manchester United fans and to Manchester United exactly. This particular reason is one of the reasons why it is honestly sad to see how once someone that we thought was going to be a representation of wearing that number 7 shirt to someone that we can't wait to see the back of. Garnacho has absolutely done the the thing that would really, really hurt. There's no coming back from this situation in my mind. The way he behaved, the way he's behaving, looking at this situation is truly, truly, truly devastating for someone that we looked at, someone that we wanted, someone that we touted, someone that we saw coming from the academy and understanding that he was going to be the next big thing for Manchester United. Today was an absolute devastating thing to even think about. It was truly and truly, truly a disappointment in my mind. It was a disappointment, and it's quite sad to see that this is what we are going to be facing. This is what we have seen from Garnacho. Yes, we understand he wants to leave the club, but this is not the way to do it. This is not the right way to do it. And he has absolutely that on everything that he has done for Manchester United because even though he's leaving the club, even though he wants to leave the club, a lot of players and a lot of people that have watched him over the years still find him to be someone that we love and we cherish for the moments that he has given us, scoring a goal in the final, doing things that we would absolutely remember the overhead kick at Everton. Those things that we saw from Garnacho is something that we will never forget. But this is the situation. This is the problem that we are facing because all of a sudden, his unprofessionalism has come to rule. All of a sudden, this idea of him being too big for the boots has come to rule his ugly head again. Because Garnacho said something that absolutely blew my mind. He said something that blew my mind because it is all about being a brat in this situation. It is all about being a brat. And in my opinion, the way things are looking, I know Manchester United are banking on him leaving and them getting a really good price for them to actually go into the negotiations with Carlos Baleba. So we have to then tally the two things. But Garnacho had the guts, had the effrontery, and had the thought process to think that this was the best thing for his career because he came out and told Manchester United. This is what is being reported by Fabrizio Romano and Dazen Football. He told Manchester United that it is either Chelsea or he stays here and don't play football for 6 to 12 months. Do you know how crazy that is? Do you know how crazy to think about you doing that is? Arjun, thank you for joining us, man. Salute to you, big dog. Do you know how crazy and how absurd for you to give your club ultimatum? For you to come out and actually give your club that ultimatum that it's either Chelsea or you're going to stay for 6 to 12 months not playing football. That doesn't affect Manchester United. You understand? That doesn't affect Manchester United. We understand that you leaving the club would give us an opportunity for us to actually then go ahead and buy the likes of Carlos Baleza. Come out. We understand that fact. It is a clear noted, serious fact that we know. But the truth about it is, if you then sit down and think that this is the best thing for your career, this is the best thing for your career. You are deceiving yourself. You are delusional because all you're doing is creating a track record. You are creating a track record. You get me? Creating a track record for clubs to stay away from this kind of character. Because if you can do it, Manchester United, which is one of the biggest clubs in the world, you can do it to a lesser club. And that is what is absolutely mind blowing. I don't know who is advising this kid, but it is a problem. Let's go into the comments and let's see what people are saying. John says the ego has taken Gardner over Miss when he was young. I'm telling you the truth. That ego is where the problem lies. Because every single person understands that his legend and his idol is Cristiano Ronaldo. But the beautiful thing about Cristiano Ronaldo is when he was younger, he was humble. He was not too big for his boots. And even when he understood, when he was playing for Manchester United, he understood that anybody could be replaced. Anybody could be replaced. That is why he worked so hard to become the greatest of all time. That exact reason, that humble way to just work harder than every single person is the reason why he is the greatest of all time. Hez says, "Do you remember me, the Arsenal fan? What's up, man? It's been a long time, but welcome back in." Chris, what's up? What's up, Chris? Thank you for joining us today. But this is the crazy part about this situation. It is the crazy part. Garnacho comes out and finds a way that this news actually comes out because one thing is for sure. One thing is crystal clear. Fabrizio Romano last week said that Instagram created an opportunity, right? Created an opportunity for the players themselves to get hold of him and actually communicate what they want to be put out there. And for Fabrizio Romano to come out and say this on Dazen Football, it only gives me an idea that he reached out to Fabrizio Romano himself. Now, that is a speculation. That is allegedly. I do not know if this is true or not, but it just gives me the idea that that is what happened. It just gives me the idea of that is what happened. And that is absolutely absurd in my mind. I do not know what he's thinking. I don't think he thinks that this is the best way. I don't know if he thinks that this is the best way to force Manchester United's hand because you're under contract and you have 2 years on your contract. There's no way you're leaving without Manchester United getting a deal. There's no way. Instead of you to make sure that Manchester United can work with you, you're literally doing this border dash. That's the sad part about this situation. Theo says, toss on Isak to Liverpool. I think the situation about Isak to Liverpool definitely has to do with the domino effect of strikers. We have already seen one domino fall in Benjamin Sesko going to Manchester United. I think the next domino is going to be where is Nicholas Jackson going? Where is Johan Wissa going? Or where is Brentford going to get a replacement for Johan Wissa? Because when you see that, if Newcastle can then go purchase Johan Wissa and also another player, because they are going to be going for two strikers to replace Alexander Isak, that is the only time I believe they are going to let Isak leave to Liverpool. And of course, one thing is for sure. Isak is going into a World Cup year. So if they decide not to let him go, he's not going to do what Garnacho is doing by saying he's not going to play for 6 to 12 months. You don't understand. Bro, you're 22 years of age, if I'm not mistaken, or 21 years. You should be looking to play for Argentina in the World Cup. I don't understand what kind of lack of, what do you call it, ambition. I don't understand it. It's mind blowing to me. As it says, Man United versus Sheshko, man, Sheshko versus Victor about to be lit. It is absolutely going to be crazy. I said this thing literally 2 weeks before Manchester United even went to talk to Sheshko. It says with Arsenal getting Jokeres, it will be absolutely magical. You will not be able to write it. You would not be able to write it down. Even the likes of what's his name, the guy that created the Odyssey. You would not be able to write this story down if Manchester United can go get Benjamin Sesko. Because don't get me wrong, Benjamin Sesko was Arsenal's first choice, and they settled for Victor Gyökeres. They settled for Victor Gyökeres because it became difficult to get Benjamin Sesko over the line. And now Manchester United have gotten Benjamin Sesko, and what we are going to be seeing on the 17th, next weekend, this coming weekend, is going to be mind blowing. It is going to be mind blowing. Will says, do you think Sheshko will hit the ground running or take a season or two to find his feet? Will, one thing is for sure. I'm going to tell you this. Benjamin Sheshko is going to score at least 15 goals this season. The reason I say this is just because of the people behind him. The likes of Brian Mbeumo, the likes of Mateus Cunha, and and Bruno Fernandes. If he is anything what I've seen in RB Leipzig, what I've seen in RB Salzburg, if you're given an opportunity, if you raise the ball in the net, in the 18-yard box, he is going to be there. He has the pace to hold up play on the halfway line and still reach the 18-yard box before the game, before the chance goes dead. That is what we brought to Manchester United, and that is why I feel he's going to score at least 15, 15 goals this season. Hez says, la la la. Okay, he says Chelsea is going crazy, especially that Milan match. Um, Broca says Chelsea or Arsenal to win the Premier League first. I actually think Chelsea will win. No, I think Arsenal is going to win it this year. I believe it's going to be the case. So I think Arsenal gets the Premier League this season. They should. If not, they should be firing Mikel Arteta after this season. Um, says Chelsea is going to be crazy, especially that Milan match for sure. Rates the Malik Tor signing for Newcastle. Okay, that's a really good one because that's a really good player for AC Milan. He was a really good player for AC Milan. Don't get me wrong, I'm not claiming to have watched him a lot, but based on the little things that I've watched, his physicality, the understanding of the game, understanding and coming from the Italian side, I truly feel that Newcastle have just gotten a gem on their hands. Now, do I think that he's going to be the next big thing or the next thing to come out since sliced bread or the best thing to come out since sliced bread? No. I think he still has a way to kind of um, to adjust. You understand? I still think he still has a way to adjust to the Premier League. But one thing is for sure, he is a good player, and he is truly somebody that will definitely step up and do big things in the football game. It truly is going to be the situation because he's a centre back and a big one at that. Um, Jude Bellingham has joined the chat. Thank you, Jude Bellingham, for coming in. Chris, thank you very much for the likes. I truly appreciate it. You guys hit that like button. Hit the follow button if you haven't. Let's keep on talking about what is going on with Manchester United and what is going on in the world of the transfer window. Because guess what? A lot of things have been happening, and we are going to be catching it up, and we're going to be bringing it to you guys here on Pillah Sports. Whether you're watching on TikTok or you're watching on YouTube, we are absolutely here to bring you guys the news. So you guys stay tuned because a lot of things are going to be getting heated from this. So let's keep on talking about the transfer window, okay? Now, this transfer window is definitely crazy. The update from Fabrizio Romano about Chelsea stepping up talks with Alejandro Garnacho. The club-to-club discussions with Manchester United are now well on the way. Garnacho only wants Chelsea. Personal terms are agreed, and the two clubs are in negotiations over a fee. Garnacho expected to become a Chelsea player this summer. That's the key thing about the situation. Every single person understands that Alejandro Garnacho wants to go to Chelsea. It is not a hidden topic. It is not a secret at this point. Alejandro Garnacho wants to go to Chelsea, and I'm fine with it. I'm truly fine with it. He can absolutely find his way to Chelsea. He is a good player. He is a good player, and there's no way I'm going to be like, nah, Garnacho is not that good because he's now leaving Manchester United. No. Him going to Chelsea, he's definitely going to be a very talented player for their team. Now the question is he going to be playing day in, day out? No. Garnacho is not going to be a first team player for Chelsea. I do not believe that. I truly do not believe that. You understand? Chelsea has the likes of Bino Gittens, just came from Borussia Dortmund. You understand? Broha says, I think he's going to take over from Gittens. But that's the difference. Gittens has showed, even though he has showed to be more of an explosive player than Gittens, but they don't just have Gittens. You understand? They don't just have Gittens, Chelsea. They have Gittens that they just bought for a lot of money, for 55, if I'm not mistaken. They have Esteval. You understand? They are bringing Giovanni Kenda. They have Cole Palmer. They have Pedro Neto. They still have Raheem Sterling. Now I believe Raheem Sterling is going to leave But I'm telling you, they still have what's the guy's name from Ukraine that did a lot of that is banned from football right now. They still have that guy. So this is a team that has a lot of wingers. So him going there, to me, Modric. So all this situation, Broga says Modric is gone. Where did he go? I did not see him leaving Chelsea. I didn't see him leaving Chelsea. Chris says, as much as I want Samu for Newcastle, he just kissed the Porto barge and said I'm not leaving. Well, the truth about that situation is, um, with Samu Omaradion and him saying that he's not leaving, a lot of things have happened. Crazier things have happened. Crazier things have happened. For instance, Donnarumma just helped PSG win the Champions League for the first time in their absolute life. And guess what? Guess what? PSG have gone and bought Lucas Chevalier and have literally kicked Donnarumma out of the door from the back door. So crazier things have absolutely happened, and we should not underestimate when it comes to football. A lot of things can go crazy. He says Chelsea filed a case against Modric. Of course, they can file a case against Modric, but that doesn't mean that his contract is going to be cancelled. That doesn't mean its contract is going to be cancelled. If they did not have a clause in there to say that if you are found whatever, then you get null and void. If they don't have a contract in that, they can argue whatever they want to argue. He is still going to be a Chelsea player, except they pay him his contract off. And then he's going to be a free agent. But I know for one thing is that Chelsea do not want to do that. Chelsea do not want to do that. Broca says Jackson to Newcastle is actually good for both sides. I don't think it is actually good for Newcastle. I think Newcastle can definitely do better than Jackson. Jackson is a good player, and I think Jackson will be perfect for the likes of Brentford, perfect for the likes of Atalanta. You understand? He'll be perfect for that kinds of teams that do a lot of those kinds of games. Don't get me wrong, Newcastle is definitely going to be a lot of transition, which Jackson is good at. But Newcastle also need somebody that will be able to finish half chances, will be able to create something out of nothing. And I don't think Jackson is that guy. Chris says we don't want Jackson because we don't want two strikers at AFCON this season. Why is that a case? Bro, why is that situation always a thing? Anytime someone is buying an African player, there's always a situation of, oh, we don't want them to go for AFCON. If we do not want them to go for AFCON, then just pause the league. Pause the league. I've never understood that situation. It has always literally nagged me so much. So much. A lot of Man United fans are like, oh my God, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? In January, we are going to be seeing Branu Mbeumo go to play for Cameroon. We're going to see Andre Onana go to play for Cameroon. Amad Diallo go to play for Ivory Coast. So many. And I'm like, bro, why do we complain about this situation when it comes to African players? But when it comes to the Euros and players going to play for the Euros, nobody says blip. I don't understand it. Make it a point where the league stops for January, if that's the case. If you are so worried about that. Anyway, let's keep on going. Droga says, Chris, what do you think about Vlahovic? Vlahovic would be a good addition. Vlahovic will be a good addition. Chris says, if we get Wissa and Jackson, we will be in the current situation we're now with Osula just up top. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. It makes sense about that being a problem. It makes sense about that being a problem, but that should not be the reason why you don't sign a player. You get me? That should not be a reason. Anyway, Donnarumma disappointed after not having the chance to be part of the PSG squad for the Super Cup. He's expected to clarify his position after PSG's decision after no agreement over a new deal. Lucas Chevalier joining PSG. Donnarumma is 100% leaving the club. This is from Fabrizio Romano. Now, this situation is absolutely disappointing, and we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this because the way PSG has absolutely handled this case is not good. Absolutely think this is absurd. It is honestly terrifying to see the way they treated one of the best goalkeepers in the world, the way they treated Donnarumma, Vigi, Donnarumma, the way they treated one of the best goalkeepers in the world is absolutely terrifying. And every single person, every single footballer should be scared shitless for this happening to them. We are literally seeing Keller Navas happen to Gigi Donnarumma. We are literally seeing Keller Navas. The same thing that happened to Keller Navas when he was in Real Madrid going to PSG happened to Donnarumma. After he helped them give them the title, the Champions League. Anyway, let's keep on looking at the comments. Chris says 400k in wages, absolutely not. Who is going to be getting 400k? Definitely not Vlahovic. No sign in bonuses and 120k for 10 mil. Um, he's not going to take that much of a wage cut. Uh, Kroka says Wissa, Jackson, Lewis, and Vlahovic from Juventus. You guys are making top four. I don't think they are going to be bringing in four players of that caliber to be playing for. Do you know how much it would cost them to actually be able to sign those people? Not in terms of like them um getting to pay in terms of a transfer window, but them actually paying wages because Wissa would be demanding more wages than he's getting from Brentford. Be it that he's not getting a lot from Brentford, but he'll be definitely be demanding around 120 to 150 because he's making a step up to a top four club. Jackson, of course, is making good money in Chelsea. Will be demanding a pay raise to go to them. Lewis would definitely be demanding a pay raise. Vlahovic, because he's going to be a free agent, will be demanding a pay raise. Roja says if they sell Tonali and Isak, they can get them, I think. But why would you sell your best players? Why would you sell your best players? You're literally just announcing to the world that you do not want the best players to come to your team. Chris says we are in for Kakalimundo. I've heard that name. I don't know who he is personally. I just know, I think he's from Bournemouth, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Chris says we're not selling Tonali. Definitely not. It will be absurd. It will be absurd for Manchester United or for Newcastle to sell Tonali, especially in this time of situation. It will be absurd to let him go, in my opinion. But yeah, so many things are happening in the transfer window, so many things, and we definitely are going to try and cover every single one of them. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Okay, so another thing that we need to talk about right now is Nottingham Forest are optimistic to get James McAtee. I think that's how you pronounce it. McAtee deal sealed in the next 24 to 48 hours after verbal agreement almost done. McAtee also said yes, as exclusively reported by Fabrizio Romano. Another good news for Manchester United and one of our former servants is that Victor Lindelof is being discussed at Bayer Leverkusen. The value they value his experience and leadership qualities. The 31-year-old centre back is a free agent. Eric Ten Hag knows him very well. Independently of that, Leverkusen are in the process of finalizing the transfer for Loic Bade. So that's definitely one thing. He might be going to Bayer Leverkusen in the rebuild that Eric Ten Hag is doing. This is a problem because I think Eric Ten Hag is doing the thing that he has done previously. And I do not know if this is going to be a good thing. But all we can say is we keep on going. We keep on going. We keep on pushing. We'll see what happens. Chris says, I would riot from Virginia up to Newcastle if we are thinking of selling Tonali. That would definitely be the case. I would riot with you if that happens. Um, the news has just landed by Fabrizio Romano. He says Benjamin Sheshko will wear the number 30 at Manchester United. That would definitely be good, in my opinion. Florian Prattenberg, 5 hours ago, if I'm not mistaken, says Brighton are fully informed about Manchester United's interest in Carlos Baleba, but they are totally relaxed as they still are determined to keep him. More talks between the agents and the 21-year-old midfielder are happening in the background. Baleba and Manchester United are remain one to watch until deadline day. We got 20 days for this deal to get done, and we are absolutely going to keep an eye out of the situation. Elias Zaparni has completed his medical and can be considered as the new Paris Saint-Germain player. The way Bournemouth have been gutted. The way Bournemouth has been gutted is absolutely disgraceful, in my opinion. Sahil, salute to you, my brother. Salute to you, bro. When next are you going to come play soccer with us, bro? When next are you going to come play soccer? Sahil says, my coach, how you doing, my brother? Um, Pillah don't convince me, say Sesko go carry us. Bro, I'm telling you, Sesko is going to be on another level. 15 goals at least for Manchester United for Sheshko this summer. And I'm telling you, it is going to be crazy. Um, Jack Grealish has completed his medical as new Everton player on loan move from Manchester City with a 50 million pounds buy option. I don't know how Manchester City had gotten this deal to actually go through, because if Everton knows what is good for them, they should not get this deal done. They should not get this deal done because he does not feel he does not feel like an Everton player. He does not feel like an Everton player. He said 49 million for him haircut. Bro, I'm not going to lie. That just feels like what Jack Grealish has been doing at Manchester City for the past year. Just going get a haircut, going to drink at a pub, and going back to collect his check. That's what I've been seeing so far. Now, I know that might be difficult and that is harsh for me to say, but Everton, this is a new stadium that you're going into. You should be leading people, you should be getting people that understands how to graft, understands the, how to come up in the biggest moment, understand how to absolutely come up in the biggest moment to fight for a team. And that doesn't look like Jack Grealish, in my opinion. It just doesn't look like Jack Grealish, in my opinion. And I think they are going to regret getting this deal over the line. But good thing it's not an obligation, it's an option. That's the good thing about this situation. It is an obligation, it's an option, not an obligation. Chris says we are interested in El Pinus for a backup central attacking midfielder. That would be a good signing. Not really sure El Canus would be a perfect signing for Newcastle, by the way. I truly think that Newcastle, going into the season, they need to get their attacking lineup. They need to get their attacking lineup. The midfield is never a problem for me. The likes of Joelinton, the likes of Bruno Guimaraes, Tonali, Sean Youngstaff, all those players have been good for them. You understand? I understand they're getting him to kind of replace the guy that they lost in an ACL injury. I think the former Arsenal player. But I really think they can definitely do better than El Canus. But let me know what you guys think about this situation. So that's what we are getting from the transfer window. Of course, we have spoken about Malik Tau. Has completed his medical at Newcastle today as planned. 40 million euros package deal done with AC Milan. I don't know how AC Milan let him go, but in my mind, that is absolutely devastating. But before we get any forward, let's make sure that we can absolutely hear. Yes, Willock was injured, and that is the name I was looking for. Willock is the person that he would basically be replacing because he got that ACL injury. I think there's one thing we know about ACL injuries. We're looking at at least 6 months of recovery time of being out. So it's definitely going to be a tough thing to go forward. To go forward, let's listen to what this beautiful man, right? This beautiful man has to say, because one thing is for sure. One thing, it says it wasn't an ACL. What was it? Either an ACL or a hamstring injury. It was one of the two, if I'm not mistaken. Or am I making a mistake about this situation? What did Joe Willock get as an injury? Guys, remind me. Remind me what he got as an injury because I was not really, I can't really remember it. But guys, listen to what this beautiful guy has to say. You get me? Let's listen to what this beautiful guy has to say because one thing is for sure, he is good looking. That's for sure. Good looking. And if he can basically back up this good look with goals in the post, it will definitely be good for us. You get me? It will definitely be good
So
for us.
Benjamin,
So
welcome
this is
to
Benjamin
Manchester United.
Sheshko,
How does it feel to
and
be
let's hear what he got to say.
Thank you so much. Yeah, it's a pleasure. I mean, I've just been here for a couple of hours and it's already been feeling amazing.
I don't know if you guys can hear it.
I can already feel like that. Yeah, we're gonna be a great family, and it's a pleasure to be part of it.
Because I
Earlier on
can't.
today, you've been given your Manchester United kit that you're
What
proudly
is going
wearing.
on?
How does it feel to already be representing that badge
Hello?
on your chest?
Okay,
Yeah, it feels
perfect.
good. You know, like the thing is, like it fits well, and I'm looking forward to just playing in it a lot and try to represent in the good ways possible.
This is a big day for you, but it must be a proud day for your family. How much have they been such a huge part of this?
Yeah, family is a big part of it in general throughout my life, and I think it's just we've been thinking about it together, and we decided that this is the best step to do to become part of the family. And they're really happy for me, and they look forward to seeing me on.
Also, that was Benjamin Sheshko, and of course, you guys can go to the Manchester United's YouTube channel to go watch the entire video. But I just wanted to give you a glimpse of what we are being getting, what we are going to be getting. He is a talented guy. He's a talented player, and I'm excited to watch him for Manchester United. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think about this situation down in the comments. Make sure you guys hit that like button. We will be live tomorrow morning as we bring you guys a lot of transfer news here on YouTube. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you haven't. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.